So I hope today within 2 days I will do my best to do the best of the part. And the topic is communalism, secularism, and democracy, recent developments in Indian politics. Right. So so whatever the developments were there, we have just now done in the previous lecture. And to the topic is communalism. Communalism का मतलब जो basically हिंदू मुस्लिम में जो बातें होती हैं, लड़ाई झगड़ा होता है कम्युनिटी के अंदर, that is communalism. जो अपनी two community they want to say that their community is far much better than other communities. तो उससे लेकर जो झगड़ा होता है हिंदू मुस्लिम the कई other communities के अंदर. Then secularism is there. Right, secularism, you know better that every in India, every religion is equal to another one. So no religion is superior, no religion is inferior. Then democracy. In this democracy, we have got the communalism also. In this democracy, we have the communalism also, and we have got the secularism also. The main base is democracy. The other long-term development during this period was the rise of politics based on religious identity. एक बात याद है कि हमारे अंदर जितनी भी कम्युनिटी है ना इस देश के अंदर, हिंदुस्तान के अंदर, उनकी आइडेंटिटी उनके रिलीजन से है. उनकी आइडेंटिटी वो इंडियन है, इससे आइडेंटिटी नहीं पड़ रही है आजकल कभी भी. इफ यू फिल अप अ फॉर्म, you will write down in which religion you belong to. Hinduism has this and that, and sometimes it is said that you are backward class or not, general category, SC, ST, OBC. और उसके साथ आपको एक ना you have to put a certificate also that you deserve reservation on this base. So democracy has its own meaning, in which communalism and secularism plays its own role. Sorry. The other long-term development during this period was the rise of politics based on religious identity, leading to a debate about secularism and democracy. Debate किसके ऊपर होता है? Secularism के ऊपर और democracy के ऊपर. We noted in chapter 6 that in aftermath of the emergency, the Bharatiya Janata Sangh had merged into Janata Party. भारतीय जनसंघ जनता पार्टी में merge हो गई, मिल गई. After the fall of Janata Party and its breakup, supporters of Eastwal Janasangh formed the Bharatiya Janata Party. जो जनसंघ थी उसने एक और पार्टी बनाई जिसका नाम रखा बीजेपी, जो आजकल in the center is also there. Mr. Modi, Narendra Modi is Prime Minister. He belonged to BJP. Formed the BJP Bharatiya Janata Party. In 1980 में BJP ने वो किया, इसका फॉर्मेशन हुआ, राइट. और 2014 में ये पार में आई. Near about 1911, 34 years के बाद. Initially, the BJP adopted a broader political platform than that of a Janasangh. जनसंघ जैसे एक फॉर्म प्लेटफॉर्म इसके पास था, उससे ज्यादा ब्रॉडर प्लेटफॉर्म का मतलब उसकी सोच ब्रॉडर हो गई कि let all the people whosoever wants to come in Bharatiya Janata Party, nothing, it doesn't matter that which caste or which creed or which sex or which religion they belong to. In Bharatiya Janata Party, they will come as a BJP member. It embraced Gandhian socialism and its ideology, but it did not get much success in election held in 1980. 1980 or 1984 में इसको बहुत ज्यादा election, they fought the election in 1980s and 1984 because after every 4 years we have got the election, 5th year, whosoever the majority, they rule the country. 1980 और 1984 में इसको ज्यादा तवज्जो नहीं दी गई. After 1986, the party began to emphasize the Hindu nationalist movement in as its ideology. अब यहाँ से शुरू होता है. इसके आइडियोलॉजी में चेंज कब से आया? 1986 के बाद. भारतीय जनता पार्टी उभर के कब सामने आई? जब इन्होंने हिंदुइज्म को सामने रखा. राइट, हिंदुइज्म एंड हिंदुत्व प्रिंसिपल को, स्ट्रेटेजी को मोबिलाइज किया हिंदुइज्म के अंदर. The party began to emphasize the Hindu nationalist element in its ideology. पहले ऐसा नहीं था, लेकिन slow and steadily BJP got knows, it came to know that we have to have a very strong ideology. और strong ideology क्या थी? कि हिंदुइज्म को मद्देनजर रखा जाए, हिंदुइज्म को मद्देनजर रखा जाए और उसको बेस बनाया जाए, हिंदुइज्म को बेस बनाया जाए. It's basically meant that to members of the Indian nation, everyone must not only accept India as their fatherland, Pitrabhu, but also as their holy land, Punyabhu, beliefs of Hindutva. सबको कहा गया कि भारत को, राइट, भारत के लैंड को, भारत को एक पितृभू और पुण्य भू, जो भू का मतलब है भूमि, भारत एक पुण्य भूमि है और इंडिया को फादरलैंड में माना जाए. Right. They also believe that in case of India, Hindu culture alone can provide this base. और उन्होंने लोगों के अंदर में ये एक भावना भरी कि यदि हिंदुइज्म को बचाना है, if you want to save Hinduism, if you want to say proudly that you belong to a Hindu family, Hinduism के believe करते हो, proudly you can say it, then you have to believe in the ideology of Bharatiya Janata Party. Now this they encashed and this was successful. Hindutva literally means Hinduness and was defined by its originator, that is V.D. Savarkar, as the basis of Indian, in language also Hindu, nationhood. It basically meant that to be member of the Indian nation. Indian nation के हम बनेंगे. Indian nation के हम, we are belong to Indian nation. Everyone must not only accept India as the fatherland, Pitrabhu, but also as the holy Punyabhu. Believes the Hindutva argued that a strong nation can be built only on the basis of strong and united national culture. हमारा जो culture होगा ना, it should be a united. Your language could be separate, but you should be united. You should be united under one ideology, that is Hindutva. They used to say. They also believe that in the case of India, Hindu culture only can provide this space. Two developments around 1986 became central to the politics of BJP. Hindutva party. The first was the Shabano case in 1985. In this case, 62-year-old divorced Muslim woman had filed a case for maintenance from her former husband. The Supreme Court ruled in her favor. The Orthodox Muslims saw the Supreme Court's order as an interference in Muslim personal law. On the demand of some Muslim leaders, the government passed the Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Divorce Act 1986 that nullified the Supreme Court's judgment. This action of the government was opposed by many women organizations, many women, Muslim groups, and most of the intellectuals. The BJP criticized this action of the Congress government as an unnecessary concession and appeasement of the minority community. अब क्या घटना घटी सुन लो. 1986 के अंदर ये बातें हुई. 1986 में ये जो हिंदुत्व, हिंदुइज्म and only one organization that BJP will save is a savior, इस तरीके से बातें क्यों हुई? क्योंकि उनको लगा कि पार्लियामेंट जो है ये एक पॉलिसी अपना रही है अपीसमेंट, लोगों को जो माइनॉरिटी कम्युनिटी है उसको खुश करने के लिए, सो दैट दे कैन विन द इलेक्शन अगेन. क्या हुआ? एक शाहबानो केस हुआ था. कब हुआ था? It was 1985. क्या हुआ था इसमें, एक 62 इयर्स की एज की एक औरत थी, हर नेम वाज शाबानो, उसके हस्बैंड ने उसको डिवोर्स दे दिया। तो शाबानो वेंट टू सुप्रीम कोर्ट फॉर द मेंटेनेंस एक्ट। अब हमारे देश में दो कानून है, मुस्लिम लॉ एंड हिंदू लॉ। मुस्लिम लॉ के अंतर्गत कुछ मुस्लिम से उलेमाओं ने, जो बेसिकली वो कहते थे कि हमारे अंदर इंटरफेयर नहीं होना चाहिए, दे प्रेशराइज द पॉलिटिकल बॉस और पॉलिटिकल हेड्स दैट देयर शुड बी नो इंटरफेरेंस इन मुस्लिम पर्सनल लॉ। और उन्होंने मना लिया किसको, पार्लियामेंटेरियंस को, दैट द लॉ शुड बी चेंज। And Congress was that time in the uh, ruling party. So Muslim Personal Law Divorce Act was passed 1986. तब उसमें क्या किया, जस्ट एक 125 का मेंटेनेंस दिया गया था शाबानो को, उसको नलिफाइड कर दिया गया, बदल दिया गया। बहुत सारा ह्यू एंड क्राई हुआ, बहुत लोग इसके अगेंस्ट हुए कि इट शुड नॉट बी देयर, कानून कैसे आप चेंज कर सकते हो, उसको मेंटेनेंस एक्ट का, मेंटेनेंस एक्ट उसका अधिकार है, दिस इज हर राइट, हाउ कैन यू चेंज इट। बट जजमेंट को, जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जजमेंट था, उसको दरकिनार कर दिया गया। इसके बाद ये हिंदुइज्म कम्युनिटी, हिंदुत्व उभर के सामने आए। दे सेड दैट इफ यू वांट टू सेव योरसेल्फ, योर स्किन, देन यू हैव टू जॉइन बीजेपी। बीजेपी को ज्वाइन करना होगा। तो बीजेपी वाज कमिंग एज अ फ्रंट ऑफ अ सेवियर ऑफ वन कम्युनिटी। और वो बेसिकली उन्होंने कहा कि रूलिंग पार्टी को ये अपीजमेंट पॉलिसी to developments around 1986 became central to the politics of the BJP as a Hindutva party. The first was the Shabano case in 1985. In this case, 62 years old divorced Muslim woman had filed a case for the maintenance from her former husband. The Supreme Court ruled in its favor. The Orthodox Muslims saw the Supreme Court's order as an interference in Muslim personal law on the demand of some Muslim leader. The government passed the Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Divorce Act 1986 that nullified the Supreme Court judgment. This action of the government was opposed by many women organizations, many Muslim groups, and most of the intellectual. The BJP criticized this action of the Congress government as an unnecessary concession to the appeasement of the minority community. So, appeasement policy को बंद करना होगा, which I told you very nicely and I defined you. Now, next is Ayodhya dispute. Ayodhya dispute, you know very well about Ayodhya dispute, right? So, the second development was the order of Faizabad District Court, that is February 1986. Faizabad se court chaya tha. The court ordered that the Babri Masjid premises be unlocked so that the Hindus could offer prayers at the site which they considered as a temple. 1986 में फैजाबाद कोर्ट से एक डिसीजन आया कि बाबरी मस्जिद को अनलॉक किया जाए, क्योंकि वहां पे जो मंदिर है राम जन्मभूमि के ऊपर, उस पे लोग अपनी पूजा अर्चना कर सकें. A dispute now, that Ram Janmabhoomi dispute is nowhere, kahin nahi hai. But when this book is very old, that's why that time Ram Janmabhoomi controversy was still there, right? A dispute had been going on for so many decades of over the mosque and known as Babri Masjid in Ayodhya. The Babri Masjid was 16th century mosque in Ayodhya and was built in Mir Baki Mughal Emperor Babur general. Some Hindus believe that it was built after demolishing a temple for Lord Rama in what is believed to be the birthplace. The dispute took the form of court case and was continued for many decades. In late 1940, the mosque was locked up as the matter was in the court. Right. So बाबरी मस्जिद को खत्म, बाबरी मस्जिद, और उसके बाद बाबरी मस्जिद टूट भी गई 1984 के अंदर। उसके बाद बाबरी मस्जिद open. As soon as blocks of Babri Masjid was open, mobilization began on both the sides. Many Hindus and Muslim organizations tried to mobilize their communities on this question. Suddenly, this local dispute became a major national question and led to the communal tension. The BJP made this issue its major electoral and political plank, along with many organizations like the RSS and Vishwa Hindu Parishad. It convened a series of symbolizing and mobilizational program. This large-scale mobilization led to the surcharged atmosphere, and many instances of communal violence was there in Ayodhya. The BJP, in order to generate public support, took out massive call about the Rashtriya for Somnath to Gujarat to Ayodhya and UP. Then, in 1992, December 6, 1992, Babri Masjid was demolished. We are here. अयोध्या इशू चल रहा है हमारा, और बाबरी मस्जिद के बारे में पढ़ रहे हैं हम, right? Demolition and after. In December 1992, the organization supporting the construction of the temple had organized a car seva, meaning volunteer service by the devotees who are building the Ram temple. The situation had become tense all over the country and especially at Ayodhya. Right? So, and demolished the mosque. This news led to the clashes between the Hindus and Muslims in many parts of the country. The violence in Mumbai erupted again in 1993 and continued for 2 weeks. The events of Ayodhya led to a series of other developments. The state government with the BJP as a ruling party was dismissed by the center, along with the other states party, where the BJP was in power, where was put under presidential rule. तो वहाँ पे that is जहाँ पे बाबरी मस्जिद था, वहाँ पे अयोध्या के अंदर presidential rule लागू हो गया in that particular state, along with the other state where the BJP was in power. वहाँ पे presidential लागू हो गया यूपी के अंदर, और दूसरे स्टेट में भी जहाँ पे भी बीजेपी थी. They were put under presidential rule. A case against the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh was registered in the Supreme Court for contempt of court, since he had given an undertaking that the disputed structure will be protected. The BJP official expressed regret over the happenings at Ayodhya. The central government appointed a commission to investigate into the circumstances leading to the demolition of mosque. Central government ने एक कमीशन अपॉइंट किया, जिससे पता चला कि इसको डिमोलिश किस तरीके से क्यों किया गया. Most political parties condemned the demolition and declared that this was against the principle of secularism. लोगों ने कहा कि बेसिकली इंडिया इज अ सेकुलर कंट्री, और सेकुलरिज्म के अगेंस्ट है किसी भी मस्जिद को, किसी भी मंदिर को तोड़ना. This led to a serious debate over secularism and posed the kind of question over country faced immediately after partition. Was India going to be a country where the majority religious community dominated over the minorities, or would India continue to offer equal protection of law and equal citizenship rights to all Indians irrespective of their religion? किस तरीके से होगा देश का, देश में क्या होगा, क्या नहीं होगा, right? So during this time, there has been a debate about using religious sentiments for electoral purpose. अब India का election is not a common thing. It's a tremendous enthusiasm. So during this time, there was also been a debate about using religious sentiments for electoral purpose. India democratic politics is based on the premises that all religious communities enjoy the freedom that they may join any party, and there will not be community-based politics. Yeah. There were many challenges During this time, there was been a mini debate. During this time, there were many debate and based political parties. The democratic atmosphere of the communal party has faced many challenges after 1984. 1984 के बाद इंडिया में बहुत सारे कम्युनल क्लैशेस भी हुई, थोड़ी और 84 से भी पहले भी हुई, right? And as we have read in chapter 8 that what happened in 1984 in the former anti-Sikh riot. और 1984 में आपको पता ही है कि 1984 में Mrs. Indira Gandhi was assassinated, and after that there was anti-Sikh riots over there, right? So in 1984, in the form of anti-Sikh riots, in February March 2002, similar violence broke out against the Muslim in Gujarat also. गुजरात में भी anti-Muslim riots हुए थे. Such violence against the minority community and violence against two communities is a threat to democracy. Basically कहा जाता है कि India is a secular country. Everyone is free to go his or her own religious premises, maybe mandir, maybe gurdwara, maybe church, maybe masjid. Wherever you want to go, you are free to move, right? So this should not be done in India because India is a secular country. अब थोड़ा सा हम पढ़ लेंगे एंटी मुस्लिम राइट्स इन गुजरात. We call it Gujarat riots. In February, March 2002, large-scale violence against Muslims took place in Gujarat. गुजरात में Muslims के against दंगे हुए. The immediate provocation for this violence was an incident took place at a station called Godhra. Godhra हत्याकांड कहा जाता है. A bogie of train that was returning from Ayodhya and was full of car sevak was set on fire. 57 people died in that fire. क्या हुआ कि बोगी में आग लगा दी गई. जो कार सेवक आए थे अयोध्या से गुजरात के अंदर, उनकी बोगियों में आग लगा दी गई और बोगी आग लग गई तो बाहर से दरवाजे बंद कर दिए और बोगी में आग लगने के बाद 57 people were killed. अयोध्या कार सेवक. Suspecting the hand of Muslims in setting fire of the bogie, large scale violence against Muslims began in many parts of the Gujarat from next day. This violence continued for almost a whole month. एक महीने तक ये होता रहा, violation होता रहा, right? Violence चलता रहा. Nearly 1100 persons, mostly Muslim, were killed in this violence. The National Human Rights Commission criticized the Gujarat government role in failing to control violence, provide relief to the victims, and prosecute the perpetration of this violence. The Election Commission of India ordered